Well, so if you think Apple is facing challenges, get a load of this. It's nothing compared to what's been happening at Dell and BlackBerry not long ago. Both firms were product and stock market kings, must-haves in many portfolios. Today, Dell is in the middle of a buyout battle, and BlackBerry is battling for its survival as an independent company. Technology correspondent John Ford is here, along with Andrew Ross Sorkin, who wrote about Dell's predicament in today's New York Times. Welcome to both of you. Andrew, if I might start with you, in your column today, you referenced some criticism that the founder of Dell, Michael Dell, has been receiving for the way he brought forth his buyout proposal. Talk to me a little bit about that and whether you believe that in any outcome here with Dell, Michael Dell will still be a part of the company, or won't he?
Well, the second part of your question is still the question, whether Michael Dell remains part of the company. He clearly wants to own the company. He tried to buy out the company, and in the process has put it in play to the point where he may not ultimately be part of the future of this company. To your first question, there are large issues around management-led buyouts, and there are questions among shareholders who are saying to themselves, why does Michael Dell want to buy this company? Does he think he's buying it on the cheap? And if he's buying it on the cheap, why should I sell it to him? And Leon Cooperman, who was quoted in the piece, said this is the equivalent of insider trading. He knows something that the other shareholders don't. And to some extent, you could argue that now that we have a separate offer from Blackstone, which has come in with a bid of $14.25 against, by the way, Michael Dell's bid with Silver Lake of $13.65 and an additional bid by Mr. Icahn of $15, you could say that perhaps the original bid was too low.
You know, John, Dell was once considered one of these tech darlings that could do no wrong. And it seems like the issue here, whether it's a private company or a public company, its business model is out of date. You know, how do they survive and how do they make that changeover?
Well, they got so big and so popular making PCs more efficiently than anybody could at the time. And what happened was everybody else got better at making PCs, and now PCs are just less popular than they used to be as people are using smartphones and tablets. So really what they need to do is one of two things. Either figure out how to be a great mobile player. They've tried a couple times and haven't figured that out. Or push into the cloud and enterprise services. They're doing a bit better at that, but meanwhile, this big PC weight is just dragging them down.
They missed the move into mobile big time. That was really one of the big issues here, right?
That's part of it, but they tried some mobile products, but the problem was they were depending on software from Microsoft or from Google. They were depending on other companies to figure out how to put the objects, the products together. They couldn't compete as well with Apple, which designs the whole widget.
So, Andrew, speaking of a company that sort of missed a big move, BlackBerry, another company that we're talking about in this segment tonight, it missed the move to sort of touch screens and multi-function devices. Can this company come back?
It's going to be a struggle. I hate to say it because I'm a BlackBerry user and I have loved my keyboard from the absolute very beginning, like so many people out there. But I also carry around an iPhone these days. And I think that's become indicative of what you're seeing, by the way, along Wall Street. You're seeing it in the government. You're seeing it even the Defense Department and others who've taken up other devices. It's very difficult once you start looking at the ecosystem that is the Apple OS, the operating system, and all of the apps that are around that, to think that BlackBerry will ever be able to be what it used to be. Having said that, if BlackBerry can just eke out small little gains, they can make big wins for the company and for the stock. And so I wouldn't count them out just yet.
Let me ask both of you this, Andrew and John, but let me start with you, John, is that as you look at these companies and others of this ilk, is it a technology problem that got them here, or is it a management problem, or is it both?
It really is both. I mean, in both cases, management was maybe a little too proud of what they had already accomplished, didn't look around the corner and see what was coming. On the technology side, both had a similar problem. BlackBerry didn't really design a great operating system, an OS that could do web surfing, that could handle apps. Apple had that already. And when they saw Apple doing it, they figured they were fine ruling email and messaging just like they had done before. They need to now figure out what the next big thing is going to be. Don't just match iOS and Android, but skate to where the puck is going to be.
The early word on the BlackBerry 10 is not all that favorable in the U.S.
Well, the word is a lot better than the early sales. So it got some decent reviews. People said, yeah, this does some things that other phones do and some things that they can't do. But it hasn't translated into sales because they haven't communicated to people why buy this instead of the stuff all your friends have.
Andrew, what are your thoughts on all of this? What's the lesson here? It sounds like a Harvard Business School case study.
The lesson is that both of these companies need to be in turnaround, and it's a real gamble either way, which way they go. You know, some people look at this Dell transaction and these shareholders say they're not getting enough money, pay me more. But, you know, it's just as possible that in 5 years from now, Michael Dell makes a fortune as he loses a fortune. And that's the thing I think we all have to remember.
Andrew Ross Sorkin, thanks very much. John Fort, great to be with you.
Thank you.